Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm Duke Silver. Today we are going to be playing Skip the Time Skipper, and as you can see from the runtime of this video, this one was a long one. This game took almost an hour, so I have cut out a lot of things that normally I would leave in, just like positioning changes and stuff, just to try and get through it a little bit faster. And you can see we still ended up with a pretty decently sized runtime here, and yeah, this one was wild for sure. So yeah, definitely stick around to see how it ends, I guess. Anyways, let's get into this. So we started with a lucky, which is obviously the best start you can ask for on Skip. It just allows you that guaranteed econ, and yeah, it allows us to generate enough characters to win a couple early fights. We managed to stabilize on 33, definitely higher than average on most Skip games. And then yeah, we get this mummy triple just basically handed to us, and it contains a sarcophagus. And with this Queen of Hearts already, we're pretty happy to see that. And we're just going to take this Billy Gruff and take our roll here. Unfortunately, nothing there for us to lock, so we just move on. But yeah, sarcophagus is going to be fantastic for us. It's just going to be great for helping us stabilize. This opponent is playing the zero power character in the front blocker, and it works out pretty well for them. Combat works out pretty well for them in general. We're going to take this Heartwood Guardian, just shard it. We're kind of hoping for a Medusa or a book or something like that. So we're fine with that Medusa for sure. Chupacabra would also have been really, really nice there because we have this golden mummy as well. A decent amount of stats on this tiger board. Also, they've got a secret stash, it looks like. So we are going to get a couple, or get at least one donkey summon, and it's Feasting Dragons. We get a free Feasting Sleigh there. Definitely never going to complain about that. Just a free gingerbread party, basically. This Sporko that we locked, of course, is kind of a payoff, or we get paid off for locking the Sporko, as it's a 3/3 instead of a 2/2, making it a more relevant backline unit. And yeah, we are going to take this pair of Romeos just as a 3-pair, just because we want access to potential like treasure later or something like that. So I don't recommend you like hoard level 3 characters too much on Skip, just because I mean it can clog up your bench, as well as like you don't necessarily always have the time to do that. But since we're so far ahead and doing so well this lobby, that's why I figured we could bank this pair of Romeos, pick up a 3 big pigs with our Queen of Hearts and sarcophagus. That's going to go a long way to just keeping us nice and stable in the mid game here. We picked up a Cindy pretty early, but we haven't been able to cast spells. I actually briefly considered just buying this monster book and fielding the Cindy, just to get the Cindy treasure kind of accelerated, but I figure that's a little bit greedy, so we just decide not to. We find a shop that has another big pigs plus another Queen of Hearts. We'll take that 3-pair with the candy cannon to get the Cindy progress. Opponent attacks directly into our queen though. A little bit unfortunate, but that's the risk you run when you play it in the front line anyhow. Opponent does have a lot of summons with Eye of Ares there, but fortunately for us, like we benefit from summons as well with Eye of Ares. I mean, opponent does end up with enough stats with the addition of that Ring of Thunder to get the tie here, but as long as we're not losing health, we're pretty much happy. We do need to get this Billy Gruff off the board, and we find a Medusa to do just that. We don't get to cast a spell, so our Cindy quest is still in progress, but we do get a decent board space around out here for our 3 big pigs anyhow. Opponent was pretty strong. It's beauty with sarcophagus. They had a Queen of Hearts as well, but fortunately for us, so we took it out early. Otherwise, we might lose this fight because it comes down actually pretty close after all those sarcophagus triggers. And there's our Queen of Hearts triple. We're just gonna take Power Orb. Not an exciting treasure, but it's solid on this board. And we get to finish our Cindy quest with this health pot. Skipping Stone, definitely not what we want here. And Bounty Board, we're a little bit past trying to speculate on that. So we just take a Monster Manual with these with the Mummy as well as these 2 Medusas. It's a fine treasure. We probably won't keep it very long. I mean, we're approaching level 6 already. We're 6 next turn, so we're going to throw Jekyll's Concoction at the end of this turn onto our Mummy, just to get a little bit of extra stats there. And there's a Pied Piper with a good boy in the back. They have a coin, and for some reason they're playing good boy in the back, and I'm not really sure the logic there, to be honest. Maybe they ran into a bunch of lightning dragons in a row, but we haven't seen any of those ourselves, so I don't know if that theory holds any water. Their donkey does kind of do some work here, though, spawning a lightning dragon, which attacks directly into our Medusa. Kind of probably sparing them a little bit of health there. And we've got these two big pigs, and there's a Bearstein in the shop. I mean, we're skip. We're on 6 early. I think we're just gonna go for it. We're gonna take the Bearstein, and we get the big pig triple, which reduces the amount of summons, but we do find summoning portals. I really like Hand of Midas on level 6 if you can get that 5 triple early. Then like, I mean, that gives you just like a huge boost when you just buy a golden 6 with the Hand of Midas. But I mean, with the Bearstein and the golden pigs already, like how are we not going to take summoning portal here? Also, summoning portal just like very quickly becoming one of my favorite treasures in the game, with since the improvement in I guess the most recent patch, which was what, 3 months ago. But yeah, so now we just want to pick up like whatever summons we can here. Like, we'll take even cheap summons, like Princess Peep will be fine. We probably wouldn't take Black Cats, but like, it's not the worst thing ever. We would especially want, of course, baby bears, wombats potentially. I mean, I do love a wombat, so that's something that I'm definitely tempted to take. I'm not sure if most people would take wombats in a Bearstein comp just on their face, but putting wombats in a croc is just a lot of fun in my opinion. There's that Princess Peep, and I think we're gonna snap it up here. The summoning portal stats plus the Bearstein stats it just adds up so quickly. And speaking of stats that add up quickly, that is an Echo Wood, which we are going to take. We just reposition there during the cut. We're going to keep our big pigs in the back to try and get the maximum board space, and then we're going to have both our peeps up front and kind of resign ourselves to potentially not getting all the value possible out of them. But we get a decent amount of board space. We do lose a few sheep, but our Echo ends up very, very large, so the summons do their job for sure. And there is a baby bear, which we are absolutely happy to take, as well as a Time Flies. There's that Wombats, which we're not gonna lock for, but again, like, I wouldn't mind buying one, but we are kind of running out of board space and hand space now. All right, we get denied most of our sheep here. We get about 3 instead of 6. So, like, it's not so bad. We do lose our Bearstein, unfortunately, before our big pigs pop, and their golden siren there steals our golden pigs, so they get to steal 2 of them. But the summoning portal stats are still significant here, as all those stats that got onto the Echo Wood is still enough for us to weather the storm and win that combat. Just with Echo by itself, kind of standing tall at the end there. There's Ring of Thunder. It's a little bit better than Power Orb in summons, but I don't think it's enough. I think I'd rather just have 2 gold. Like, I just don't think it's a big enough improvement. And also, I don't think this Big Pigs is better enough than a Peep to invest 5 gold in it just for that marginal replacement. So we're not even going to bother with that. We are going to take this Wombats, as I said. I love a Wombat, so... And also, it plays, I think. Like, we're not getting the board space value out of our Peeps anyways, so let's just throw a Wombat up there. And if we manage to get lucky and summon an animal out of our Wombats, then it gets very, very large. So that's definitely worth consideration. All right, no animal here, and unfortunately, the Feasting Dragon, even with the summoning portal stats, not quite big enough to get us a little bit more value. Not that it matters too much at this stage in the game, but I mean, getting Feasting Slays is always fun. Opponent Horde Dragon does get a level 7 treasure out of their Herc there, which is a little unfortunate that we weren't able to knock them out, but yeah, I mean, we're quite strong as well, so we're gonna change heroes here. I mean, we don't have a hero power anymore, so we're just gonna change into Zippy. We've got a few different good characters that we would really love to throw some evil twins on. We know at least one other opponent is summons. I believe Beauty had a bunch of summons as well. So we should be able to get these evil twins relatively quickly. And like, if we run into a pumpkin comp, then that's a ton of summons and a ton of progress. You can get those evil twins really fast in the end game. I don't think we're gonna get 15 here, even though this is another Bearstein comp. So yeah, they've got a couple Wombats up front, yeah, they're not playing any tokens in the back, so they're kind of hurting for board space. And yeah, it looks like our token setup, our summon setup is just a little bit better than theirs. They do get a good summon out of their wombats though, getting an Empress P in front of the Green Knight, but that's not going to be nearly enough stats to deal with our final big pig summon there. All right, we get a 5-triple. Which we took the Nian earlier. It was kind of during the cut. I just it took a little bit long, and I just wanted to trim the video a little bit more. So I cut that out. But we did end up selling our Romeo for a Nian earlier, just for the specifically to try and get a 5 treasure for Ambrosia. So Ambrosia is going to do a huge amount of work here. We're also going to take this hat, and we're going to get out of Sark. We probably should have gotten out of Sark before the Power Orb, because the Power Orb does add to Bearstein stats. But we're going to get out of Sark anyways with this hat. We're just going to be able to cast spells for cheap while still being able to roll. It's just basically an econ treasure at this point. And the fact that our Power Orb and Sark just weren't really doing much led me to want to replace them. All right, we don't get any peep board space here, unfortunately, and yeah, this is an opponent playing some wombats. They've also got Phoenix Feather with their pretty large Scion of the Storm, but fortunately for us, our Echo is just that much bigger, and we do manage to take them down. We now have our first evil twin here, which, I mean, we would like to just fire off in the Bearstein, but we don't really have the board space to play 2 Bearstein. Like, we want to have the critical mass of summons to get as much as we can out of Summoning Portal, as well as get as many stats as possible onto the Echo, and it gets us a little bit more redundant just in case of scam. We're going to fire off this Croc immediately. Normally I would wait to upgrade our wombats, but I think we just need to do it. We see the Croc now. I think we just need to go for it. So we're going to Croc one of our wombats. It's still going to get a decent amount of stats from the Summoning Portal, as well as the Bearstein. Now the Golden Bearstein with our Ambrosia. So I think it's still a fine play there. And there's another Bearstein, which we are going to lock. And at the last second, we sell out of our Peep and get another Time Flies onto our bench. And yeah, we're not going to bother playing Peep on the front line anymore. We just have too many summons now, so there's no possible way. Well, it's not that there's no possible way to get board space value, but it's just so unlikely that we're not going to bother with it. And this is a Sphinx who has Hat plus Mimic plus Wand, so they are casting 3 spells, and yeah, they don't need spell cost reduction because of course they're Sphinx. So, and yeah, the amount of stats they pumped into their Echo Wood or their Ashwood makes their Burn Beard absolutely enormous, and we just can't get through it before their range finishes our Echo Wood off. But now that we get to triple our Bearstein with that Evil Twin, we do get to move our Echo Wood over into the Ambrosia slot and have our Golden Bearstein in 6 here. There's also there's a Pigomorph here, which we could lock, but I don't think we're going to. There's still a few things that we want to pick up. Like, I mean, we want to get more Crocs, and we want to potentially find more Echoes instead of just having to rely on this Ambrosia, because we would love to get like a Singing Sword to replace that Ambrosia if we can. That would go a long way to, especially to beating that tree comp. But I mean, we didn't have Golden Echo before, so like we might be able to compete with the tree comp on stats now. We get one more Evil Twin here. We're gonna take another Wombats. There's another Bearstein, but once again, I don't think we can afford. We just can't justify playing another Bearstein on this board. I just don't. I like even the extra stats. I think just volume of summons is just better than getting a little bit of extra stats and having a very weak backline. I think we're gonna go for another hero change here. Like, we don't need too many more Evil Twins, so finding something more relevant I think is better. Like, if we could turn into a Morgan, or like, I guess Zelhua was a good option as well. Goldilocks also another good option that gets us roller shop of 6s, but we're gonna go with Grandmother. +5/+5 to our board does matter. It's gonna add a lot to our stats, to our Bearstein tripling stats, because that +5/+5 in addition to the Summoning Portal stats getting tripled from Bearstein is definitely gonna add up here. And yeah, you can see just how many stats are on our Echo Wood now. Our Echo Wood now up over 1,000. You get a range character out of our Wombats. Unfortunately, we get our Pig to pop before they attack into our Bearstein. And yeah, there we go. We do get the win. So yeah, we're competing with stats, but again, they have that mimic wand. Like, we have to be wary of scam at any point. I think they're putting a lot of resources just into growing their Ashwood though, because like that, like the size of the attack on that board is very steadily growing. We could have tripled the time flies to try and buy 2 more potentially, but I figured, like, if we don't find it, then we're just making ourselves weaker instantly. So I think it was just not something we wanted to triple at this point. Again, finding more Echo Woods I think is like kind of our path to strength here. The fog is actually not too bad either, because it would reduce the Robin Hood's attack to 1, which does make a difference for sure. And yeah, now it's just a battle of very, very huge stats. You can see those Robin Hoods and that Ashwood have are approaching 400 attack each now. So yeah, the Ashwood's very, very large. Unfortunately for us, fortunately for us, we do have these stats on our Echo as it approaches like close to 3,000. We have enough to tank the rest of their board there. So yeah, we need at least one more fight. We didn't do enough damage last fight to be able to finish them off, but I mean, if we were to get lucky and somehow have something else survive, it's pretty unlikely though, because usually everything else is dead before the Echo Wood kind of gets involved. So yeah, we can basically only rely on doing 9 damage a turn here. There is another baby bear, which we're not going to take. We have this evil twin, which we're probably going to fire off onto the baby bears as soon as we can find like a decent replacement. Like, there's no other level 5 treasures that like we're really interested in picking up though in the place of Ambrosia until we find our Echo Wood triple. So that's a little bit awkward. That's why we're not just like firing off the triple now. But yeah, we did lock another croc, which is nice. We're gonna be able to put our golden wombats into a croc now. And yeah, you can see the attack on those trees just ever increasing. You can see they're over 400 attack now. Yeah, we're gonna go for the evil twin first. We're just gonna skip here. We're gonna croc our golden wombats, and we're gonna just take another wombats. Because if we can, I mean, the dream is to get 3 crocs on the board, triple it up, and have a golden croc here with the Bearstein. But yeah, we're gonna have our unupgraded first, because of course we want as many summoning portal stats as we can onto the golden wombats. We do get an Echo Wood out of our unupgraded wombats here, and yeah, a bunch of summons come out and put a bunch of stats onto this Echo Wood. So this Echo Wood does a good chunk of damage into that burn beard there. It's probably the least relevant thing to attack into though, unfortunately. Because I mean, basically nothing's gonna trade with it until it hits the Echo anyways, so yeah, that kind of doesn't matter, and it actually ends up being just not enough for us to. We didn't get through the front line fast enough, and we end up. Well, we do have less summons because we got rid of the baby bear. But yeah, the range trees there just end up being a little bit too much for us with all that attack. So yeah, we're kind of in trouble now, and we're taking this peep just because like we're running out of gold. Also, we kind of need to start thinking about board space for if we can find this third croc and get a golden croc, because that reduces our board space by a lot. So we want to be able to fill up those board slots just to keep getting more power onto the board. Fortunately, we're not summoning a lot of animals out of these wombats, and they do attack into our Doom Breath, which would have been pretty good here. I mean, if we'd been able to take out the Robin before it attacked with that Doom Breath, then that would have been absolutely phenomenal for us. And yeah, we do manage another win here. We've got them down to 6. I mean, they've gained some health from their spells. I mean, they have Crystal Ball and they are Sphinx. So again, we could triple this time flies, but like, I just don't think we can reliably get something else, something more like more time flies, or yeah, we do find the croc though. Like we need to find like at least one more time flies with the time flies triple anyways to keep our board strength up. But yeah, this croc we get to triple our Croc. I would love to be able to take this this Phoenix Feather, but because we still haven't found any Echo Woods, we haven't been able to triple it. So we need this this Ambrosia for the Echo Wood. If we cut our Echo Wood stats in half, even with the Phoenix Feather, I just don't see us having enough stats to compete, especially when we're winning with our Echo Wood having like roughly like 100 health or whatever. Which at this it sounds like a lot, but at this stage in the game, it's just not enough. And we need to just fill up our board, so we just throw a Poly onto the board. I mean, it's an animal. We should have put it in slot 1 for board space reasons, but unfortunately, I didn't quite get there. So Poly is kind of standing there, standing tall. It's gonna get an attack. Obviously, there's no chance for Slay, but I mean, the fact that it got an attack is commendable in itself. And unfortunately, attacks go just slightly too poorly. We lose that 1 and 3 as the backline gets opened up and they attack into our Bearstein. But one of our Wombats summons a Medusa, which allows us to scam a 400 Scion of the Storm. And just that is just barely enough for us to take the win here. Our Echo stands tall there with just over 100 health, I think it was. But yeah, that 400 extra health would have been enough for them to get a tie and keep the game going. But so yeah, even without the Bearstein, all those summonings portal stats onto our Golden Croc summons is just it's just enough to put our Echo Wood over the top, and we get that one scam and we take down the long finals here and get the dub. But yeah, this one was wild. This was like definitely the wildest summons game I think I've ever played. So yeah, this was a ton of fun, and getting the triple Croc with Wombats inside is just it's a dream, really. But yeah, let me know what you thought of this. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment. Please do all that fun stuff that helps the algorithm. I would very much appreciate that. And yeah, I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you tomorrow.